on Facebook. We are live. We're going back into our core scripture of 1 Corinthians 13 yet again, and we will probably, dance around a lot of stuff because love is one of the most, if not the most important aspect of our faith. Oh Lord, what is that? I hit a button.
You hit a button.
I hit a button. I did. I get it right. There we go. Now we can share. I can leave that there. We got volume though. That's good to know.
Yep.
Maybe I won't sound like a chipmunk today.
You know what?
As someone had me. Okay.
Yeah.
You good?
If I ever want to make you sound like a chipmunk, I know how to
You
do
know
that
exactly
now.
how to do
I know
that now.
exactly how to
Okay.
do that now.
All right. Well, we are continuing on in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We've talked about different types of love because the Greek language is a very specific one, is what I'm learning in all of this. It's they have a word for all the words. You know, there's so much that we lose because we broadly use a term when they have very narrow meanings. Just even in love, we've learned about storge,
Mm-hmm.
which is a family love. We've learned about phileo, which is a friendship love. We've learned about eros, which is not mentioned in scripture, but it is a sexual love. We've learned about the God kind of love, agape. So when we say we love, we need to pinpoint what we're operating in.
Yeah.
Because Christ commands us to operate through agape, which is, it differs than just a friendship love, than just a family love. It's so much more, and there's requirements upon it. It puts requirements on itself.
Yes, it does.
Less requirements on others, but requirements on itself. We learned that what was going on at Corinth. Corinth was a very pagan town. It was rough. There was a preoccupation with the supernatural. If you go to the end of chapter 12, you find out about that, especially if you read it in the Amplified. The Amplified adds, if that's all you can seek, well, fine, seek the gifts of prophecy, seek that, but I'll show you a more excellent way, and that leads into chapter 13 that's all about love. And I love that. To me, that is so powerful because as long as I have been in the church world, and you see these kinds of people on job sites, you see these kinds of people wherever you go, okay? You have people who are in things to be somebody, to get a position, to be someone of recognition. And then you have people who do things because they love the job or because they love the Lord. Or you can see it in a natural capacity in job sites and things like that, especially when you have a profession where if there is no love behind it, it's a pain to deal with, like the medical field or like teaching. These are careers where you very much pray you get someone who genuinely loves what they do and that they want to take care, okay? Because if not, if they just there to draw that check and go on up the ladder, you in for a bad ride.
Yeah.
And you see that in the church world as well. You see the ones who want to be known as the spiritual, as the, upper to do, the ones that hear from God. Well, the fact of the matter is anybody can hear from God. I mean, he's a personable God who wants to speak to all of us. And when we want to make it a very mysterious, somebody over here just hears from God, and then we're heading in a wrong path anyway. Yeah, you headed toward some cult-ish behavior there.
Yeah.
So we want to do things out of love. We've seen Paul just takes the bull by the horns there and talks about, it doesn't matter how eloquently I can speak. It doesn't matter how large my heavenly language is if I don't have love. I am very annoying. I am empty. I am hollow. We went over the definitions of those things. Talked about the gift of prophecy, which was the top tier, top shelf. You are the grand oompa if you can give that word, if you can speak that word of knowledge, if you have the gift of prophecy, because, oh my goodness, to see into the future. Paul says that doesn't matter much of nothing without agape. So we're seeing that our spiritual status is not based on our performance here in church antics or hey.
It's going to be based on how well we do this.
It's going to be based in agape. And agape, though it is very much spiritual, it's not who can shout the loudest, jump the farthest, run and hoot and holler. Those things are fun. Those things are great. Those things edify. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those things, but that's not the measure of the spiritual man who's walking in agape love. We tend to get distracted by that because those are the shiny things. Those are the wow. Mm-hmm. We talked about the people who would basically impoverish themselves just so they could say they did something. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Then we moved into love is patient.
Yeah.
Long suffering.
That macro.
Thameo.
Thameo.
Yeah.
The
long wick candle. It's gonna take an awful lot to get me to anger. We got a long way to go. Remember. Well, hey. All right, make your note card.
Make your note card.
Make your note card. Make your note card. Everybody get a pointer stick.
There's there's a time for everything, and I understand that.
There is.
But to be provoked to anger.
Yeah.
Some people are short fuses. It doesn't take much to get them there. Mm-mm. And some people you just have to.
But agape love says, I can't be that way. I can't be short-tempered.
Regardless of how this makes me feel, regardless of what I want to do or what and again, it goes back to the sacrifice, the self, the giving up of self in this, because you can't, I don't think any of us could be long-suffering without giving up something of ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
If that makes sense.
Exactly.
So.
Love is kind.
Yeah.
Which we learned means useful as well.
Yeah.
It's kind to be useful. It's kind to tell the truth. It's kind to be helpful.
Benevolent.
Mm-hmm.
Giving.
Yeah.
Giving. Yeah. Always.
Oh, yeah. Love is not jealous. Oh, boy. Love is not jealous. That is...
We're still in 4 on this?
That's
okay.
Zelo. Or Zalo. Zalo. Z-E with the long thing over the top. L-O. And then O with the long thing over the top.
Z-E.
L-O-O. Zalo.
And that's Greek for jealous?
Yeah. Jealous. Means to have envy. To covet. It can be zealously. Have you ever not been able to rejoice with someone because you wanted it so bad? Z-E-L-O-O. Zalo. The people that turn green with envy, that something good happens to somebody and it eats their lunch. They can't stand it because they wanted that, or they wanted nothing good ever happens to them, and beep, 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 beep. That's no way to be. Love don't behave like that. Love isn't. It doesn't matter if you wanted a new car. You're happy when someone else gets a new car.
Mm-hmm.
Love don't act that way. Love don't get puffed up like a toddler.
You know, when when we reading this originally, because one of the questions I always had was, well, God says He's jealous for us, but that's not the same
No,
thing
no, absolutely
as what
not.
we're talking about here.
Yeah.
That's not even on the same playing field, on the
No.
same level.
No, nowhere near it.
As what we are discussing about with this. These would be two different
Categories.
Yeah, this is not.
When he's jealous for us,
Hold on.
Matt, he's jealous in the fact that he will not share us with other gods.
That
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. Hold on. I am.
Like a husband and a wife.
Yeah.
You would not be willing to share
Nope.
Mindy with other men.
Nope.
God's jealousy is zealous for what rightfully belongs to Him.
That's right.
Worship and devotion, while human jealousy is typically self-centered and covetous.
Well, that's the big part of it. Wanting what belongs to someone else. There you go. Big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very big difference. What you doing? Looking that up?
Yeah, the scripture that goes with that, and then it's in the Old Testament, Exodus 20:5. I guess we could look at the Septuagint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. This is where these word studies get fun. So that was zealous.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if it's the same. They even use the same word in the Septuagint, Exodus 20:5.
I don't know. I couldn't read it from this far back.
And well, I am a jealous God in the Leonard Concordance. Jealous Quana.
And that means, where's your definition?
I was looking for my Septuagint.
Jealous. It doesn't mean to covet. It just means jealous.
This is in the
Only
of God. This
Yeah.
word is
this
only.
is His word for it.
This
It's
is
completely
basically-
different.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a different kind. Outright. Okay. Doesn't brag. That's a fun word, and I may butcher it. Yame. P-E-R.
Wait a minute.
P-E-R. There's two of those.
Wait a minute. Another P-E-R?
Yes.
Isn't that fun?
Okay.
E-U-O.
Is that all?
M-A-I.
And that's for Greek for what?
This is the word for brag, or vaunt, as the King James would say.
Spell it one more time.
P-E-R,
P-E-R?
P as in purple. P-E-R, P-E-R, E-U-O-M-A-I.
E-U-O.
M-A-I.
Okay.
Okay.
And what did you say it meant?
This means, it means a braggart, to boast. And the implication here is someone who does not care about anybody else but their own self. Have you ever dealt with a person that only wanted to talk about themselves? They did not care. I mean, they might go through a formality of how are you, but then everything is about them, and they don't give a rip about anybody else. Love don't do that. That's what that means. That's what to vaunt means. And I was listening on
The Rick Renner one?
on the Rick Renner home group, and he talked about a flight that he took. He said he got on this airplane, and I guess there was like, three seats, and he was in one seat. The seat beside him was empty, and then there was another man in the other seat, and he's like hoping that nobody else was going to get on there because it was going to be tight. And sure enough, here comes the guy, and he said he just knew. He just knew he was coming, and he knew he was a preacher. He said, okay. So the man sits down. He said, oh, and for context, the guy on the other side, way over there, was a Baptist preacher. And so now you got the new guy on there playing, and then you got Rick. And the man started talking about how he was a preacher, and Rick, is that so? And he's this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. And finally he asked, and what do you do? He said, I'm a preacher. Oh, well, I'm an apostle. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I've written 5 books. And they could help you. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Rick said the entire flight. And he said he did ask where Rick was at, and he told him, Moscow. And he said at the end of the flight or whatever, that man looked at him and he said, oh, I will come to your church in Moscow because God has not yet put me in and I'm coming. And Rick said, I can assure you, you will not come to my church in Moscow. He said, I didn't. And he said, and the man said it again. And I said, I can assure you, you will not come to my church in Moscow. Did he step out of love? No, not at all. It was nice. He just let him go. But he had a clear boundary because that person didn't care about nobody but his own elevation. How are you going to minister to somebody like that? I mean, if you don't care enough about somebody to have a basic exchange of interaction.
How are you doing? Tell me about
what spiritual good are you got to pour into somebody if you can't hear about their life more than 2 sentences?
Even when Katie comes home from her job,
The DQ.
what's the first question that we ask you?
How was your day?
How was your day?
Something so simple.
Then we go through the crew. What's up?
How did it go? What happened? Anything interesting happened today?
She got a Christmas uniform coming.
I get off work.
Christmas.
Mindy's been in the house most of the day. You know what Mindy's first question to me is when I walk out of the office? How's your day?
How's your name?
She knows I've been on training calls most of the day, or on.
Most of the day.
But
in order to love someone, you have to care about them. And I remember years and years and years and years and years and years ago, when my darling baby was still in homeschool group. You get to teach all kinds of random stuff in homeschool groups. You do. Because, we meet up, and it's like elective central, okay? We're going to do, and usually it's life stuff, which it was great. I did enjoy that. And me being the A student that I was always volunteering to do all kinds of stuff. I taught a class on etiquette one time.
mm-hmm.
And the very first thing that I taught all these little budding 3rd through 5th graders was that conversation was like a game of catch. And we brought in a big bouncy ball. And that was the thing. If you held the ball, you got to say something. But in order to throw the ball, you had to ask a question. And you threw the ball, and the other person caught it. They answered the question, and to throw the ball back, you ask another. And it taught them the exchange of words and thoughts, and not to hog the ball, so to speak. This is teaching how to care.
Children, a lot of times it's funny when you
Ball hogs.
when you talk to them, because there's that awkward conversation, where how are you doing? And oh, I'm fine with it. And then they get done talking, and they haven't figured out yet to go, well, how are you? Or so, and it's just funny to
That was a fun way to get them to think about it
Yeah.
because I was looking at the ball like,
But,
oh.
but, we're so close to the end of time.
Mhm.
Look, it's not just the little school kids now. Yeah.
We all need a game of catch.
It's the adults. It's, look here, the college students cannot communicate. I mean, we seen that with Charlie Kirk.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And there's an importance in a conversation. There's importance because if I can't trust someone to care about the incidentals and the how are yous and the things like that, I'm not going to be able to open up to any depth of who I really am and trust them with that information and with those emotions and with those connections. And that's where agape stretches, because agape truly cares about individuals. And it doesn't dominate like that, caring only about one person. We've got to, if we step into that, we've stepped out of agape. We're probably moving around into maybe friendship, maybe family, because hey, y'all gonna listen to me.
Yeah.
We do those things when we're not conscious of agape, and it's not gonna happen by accident. Like it's gonna have to be focused.
Yeah, I know that. Again, with Rick Renner, because I was listening to his book, and he was discussing the same thing about there's one pastor that he knows of, and he's when everybody sees this man, he says they all scatter to get out of his presence, because every time they go and they talk, every time they get around him and he starts talking about all the things that he's doing, and it's like it never enters.
He starts talking about it.
Yeah, and it's like it never enters into his mind that somebody else could be doing something important.
Well,
for the Lord too.
Rick did bring that up on one occasion. Did you hear that part?
I did not.
He said he brought it up. He said, "Well, what about the other people that are working for the Lord? Do you really?"
Yeah, I did catch that.
And he said, "But is anyone doing as much as me?" That was the mindset. Like, well,
Wow.
he said the quiet part out loud. I mean, that he was thinking. I mean, that he was living. At least he's consistent, I guess. But that's not the love of God.
That was that song, that country
Ooh.
song. Lord, it's hard to be humble.
Oh, gosh.
Perfect in every way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is a these are extremes of this, but what about things that are maybe less extreme that bring us to this place? I mean, in this world,
I know for me, just in our home, because that's the easiest place to start to look, in our home.
yeah.
Keeping things,
Story time.
I tend to look, I'm a special kind of something. I'm a delight.
Yes,
Okay.
you are. You are delightful.
But like,
I'm married to you for
I
20 years. I
have
think
to.
you are delightful.
No, one thing that the Lord is really working with me on is making sure that I notice, like, when people try, when people are doing something, and not jumping to,
Yeah.
well, they did this whatever way. No, well, wait a minute. Do
try?
Do they not know how to do this? Is it just that it's not the way that I want it done, or is it, whatever? Do we need to, huh?
Yeah.
Let's face.
White space.
And that kind of,
Yeah.
because when we can start doing that, it's kind of hard to think that, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread or anything else, because you start looking for the good, you start looking for those things, and that also helps your candle wick grow a little bit.
Grow a little bit with people.
I walked in a house to see a patient, and a little kid, like probably toddler, had completely shredded a bunch of, like, I think it was crepe
Yeah.
paper
Yeah.
that somebody was going to use for something, and it was all different
We
colors.
got confetti now.
And it was all over the room, all over the bed with the patient, all over everything. And when I walked in, the daughter had come around this way to meet me, and I think somebody was in there with the baby, but for whatever reason, the child did it. And the mama was walking in with me, and when she opened the door, I thought it was the neatest thing, because I was like, but the mama was like, well, look how colorful you made this room. She wasn't even mad.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that's cool.
That's one way to look at it. Hey.
I asked Mr. Doug one time, how you deal with people, and he says you got some people you just have to start over with, and that's, I mean, I love that answer. I think that's a great answer on how you deal with difficulties, because it does get difficult, but when we're not gonna boast ourselves or exalt ourselves,
But agape just it changes. It changes
Yeah.
everything, because even in ministry, you're constantly sowing the word, and 75% of the people that hear the word don't receive it. I mean, that's the stats. 1 out of every 4 might get it. And that requires cultivation and things like that. I mean, really, because you don't tend to it, you're going to be in trouble. But we can get so caught up in the 75% that we fail to reach for the 25. And it's easy to do. It is so easy to do. Look how Jesus poured out. I mean, he was constantly dealing with Pharisees and Sadducees, wasn't he? And I mean, they were not getting it. And yet, he still agreed to eat at Simon's house. He still agreed to meet with Nicodemus. And
I was just thinking that.
And we know that he was effective because it says that there were those who knew that were part of the Pharisees and all. He didn't quit because, well, most of them ain't listening anyway, and he's probably just going to be like that last one. And that gets me because, it's easy to look and get weary. It's easy to say, well, that one didn't get it and that one did. Well, why is this one going to be any different? But the 25 is out there, and we don't know at what point.
What point is that one going to get it?
The 25 is going to light up, and it's going to take. We just keep sowing. We just keep loving. We just keep walking in this.
The funniest thing to me is to be in here, and especially with you and with your daddy. Y'all be saying and preaching on something over and over and over and over again, and I laugh because I can't tell you how many times in that process somebody has come up and said, "You won't believe what I heard so and so say on TV," and it's and it'll be the same thing that
That he's done preached
that
a million times.
a million times
And they
trying
sit right
to
there
sit
on
right
the
there
pew.
in the pew and heard it from them,
Wow.
and they got it off of the TV.
Wow.
Well,
Hey,
hey, thank God they got
you
it.
gotta get it.
I wanted to talk about something with this too.
Okay.
Mandy's out. That's kind of on the other side
Yeah.
of this, but because this is calling us to a place of humility.
Yes, it is.
But there's such a thing as being falsely or false humility.
Which is its own pride.
That
That goes back into the ones that were burning themselves just for the clout,
right.
making themselves poor
Hey.
just to say, "I did that."
Taunting themselves, exalting themselves in the things that they
0
do.
points.
Yeah, it doesn't work there either. When we do something, if you have an ability, it's not. Well, a lot of times we try to, call ourselves being humble. Oh, if I can do something, I can do it. It's by the grace of God I can.
Mm-hmm.
And we, I'm trying to. I guess I'm trying to say is that we don't sit there and just muddle around or muddle through like a victim or like somebody that's just beat down. That's not the call of this. The call is to exalt the Lord.
Exactly. Next one that's not
Okay.
arrogant, and that is phaseo. PHYSIOO. Phaseo.
PHYS.
IOO.
One more time.
PHYSIOO. And
That's
it's,
arrogance.
yeah, it means inflated or puffed up, proud. To be puffed up, when you think about being inflated, I think about thinking that you're above something. You know what I mean? And I was reading in my Kenyon book, The New Kind of Love. Really good book. You can get off Amazon by E.W. Kenyon. I was reading in that today, and he was talking about after Jesus had died on the cross, after he had went to hell, emptied hell, and resurrected.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got all the disciples out there on a fishing boat. Peter naked. Lord have mercy. Doing what they do. And Jesus, what is he doing? He's sitting on the bank. Y'all,
Cooking.
have y'all caught anything? No. Alright, come eat. Now think about that. He just died on the cross for their sins. He conquered death and hell. He resurrected back to life. And here he is serving this ragtag group, Peter, having to jump in the water to hide his nakedness, to serve them food. Cooking, serving them. He didn't think it was beneath him to do that. I mean, are we grasping this? And you can go into the exchange with Jesus asking Peter, "Do you love me?" Agape. "Well, yes, Lord, I love you." Phileo. "No, Peter. Do you love me?" Agape. "Well, yes, Lord, I love you." Phileo. Finally, "Peter, do you love me?" Phileo. "Yeah, I love you." Phileo. And he was grieved. Because he realized he missed something. Because it wasn't on the level of agape yet. It was still on well, he cooked me a good meal. Well, he did something good for me. It hadn't yet switched. Now it would when the love of God would be shed abroad in his heart at Pentecost.
Yeah.
Some things was about to get flipped.
Yeah.
But see, agape is never selfish. It's the opposite of selfish. It is selfless. It is serving. It is not being served. What you got? I just thought that was really good.
This is not something that you can grasp a hold of in the flesh.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to pursue this. You have to pursue this with your spirit.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have to turn. You have to turn toward this. You know, I mean, His love has been shed abroad in our heart. You know, and we can receive what He has done for us.
Mm-hmm.
The other is still there. The flesh, the selfish, the ambition,
right.
all this is still there. So,
Yeah.
in these instances, and see, that's the thing. I mean, God is showing me more and more. Is all the. I mean, me.
Mm-hmm.
All the things where, I have done.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do something and it's selfish, it's like that motive behind there, that exposing of that motive. Why did I do this?
Yeah.
What was the
Exactly.
purpose of this? Where
Mm-hmm.
was my heart at in this?
Yeah.
And these are things that we're turning to.
Yeah.
That we're turning to on this. I was really wanting to get to 5 on
Huh?
here.
We got a little bit. We still got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's only 10 after 8. We on 5 now.
Are we? Okay.
That
yeah.
was 4. That was the
Yeah.
end of 4. Look at there.
Man, we made it through a first 4.
Yeah. Rocket speed.
All right.
First 5. And I'm reading out of the NASB, but, we can compare translations if
Yeah.
we want to. It does not act unbecomingly. It does not seek its own. Is not provoked. NASB got that right.
Yeah.
Does not take into account a wrong suffered.
Yeah.
What did you have?
So, I was. This is the one I was listening to, and where this goes back to is Paul and Barnabas.
Yeah.
I
That's,
think it's
that's,
in
get-
Acts.
that's getting to the end of it.
Yeah.
So we need to, let's
Okay.
start it unbecomingly.
Yeah, okay.
Let's start it unbecomingly. And that is a word I am not going to. Askemoneo. ASH. SCH. Sorry.
ASCH.
Yep. Sorry.
Wait, who wants
Okay.
Y'all are gonna be great Greek scholars one day.
EMON
807
EO.
Now say that word again.
Askemeneo.
Askemoneo.
Askemeneo.
And that is, it just auto-corrected the chemo.
Unbecoming.
And
It is, let's see, means to behave uncomely or unseemly, but it's also from, what's G809? Let's see what that one is.
Can you spell it one more time?
Hold on. I went to a different.
It's ASCH
Hold on. ASCH.
E MONEO.
EASCHE.
MONEO. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
You know who I think of when I see this word?
What? It means deformed.
Miss.
I mean, the root word means deformed.
I think of Miss Bennett.
You just saying that because I found a 6-part
Yes, I am.
miniseries. Oh yeah, Pride and Prejudice from the
You
BBC.
found another part to it?
No, it's on Hulu. It's the long one, the 6-hour long one.
Oh, I
There
ain't
might
seen
be a
it.
reason.
You could have watched it.
I started it. It's on Hulu. You can start watching it on Hulu.
What's the name of it?
It's Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a 6-part miniseries with Colin Firth. Pride and Prejudice is very, very nice.
Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Bennett on
Oh my gosh.
on Pride that and I'm thinking about the Keira Knightley movie. You know, the lady. Yeah, I know. Reel it in.
He's about to be inaugurated into all of it.
What word did we get this from? What word was in the verse?
Ascamaneo. This is unbecomingly.
Oh,
Unbecoming.
yeah.
Unbecoming.
And the root word means deformed, if you really want to get fun.
And you know what? When it auto-corrected on me to
Chemo.
chemo,
Yeah.
because that's in the middle, AS and then CHEMO, chemo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And chemo is
Yeah.
for deformed cells.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go. Greek.
That makes
it's
sense.
fun.
I
Yeah.
wonder if that's where they got rid of chemo.
Probably.
Probably.
Very likely could have.
But you know, we have to act in a way that is not throwing a temper tantrum or out of line for what a situation demands. I think is just as much. You know, there is a type of behavior that is required in different circumstances. And you need to stop. Okay. Ascamaneo.
Ascamaneo, yeah.
And yeah,
Proverbs is full of Ascamaneo examples. I mean, it talks
what not to do.
well, yeah. I mean, it talks about the fool.
Yeah.
You know, men that
I'll
act
give you
foolishly.
7 reasons why they can't do something.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
Ascamaneo.
it's just okay.
What would be a loud, boisterous,
Mhm.
you know, a person.
But you know, we have to. When it's easy, it's not really doing too much.
Yeah.
It's when it's
Nice.
when you're not wanting to act in that manner. That's when you're putting the flesh under, so to speak. And this is another thing that they were talking about, because acting becomingly has to do with me. It doesn't have to do with what everybody else is doing, because they could be a whole mess load of crazy going on around me, you know, and toward me, or whatever else, or something could just be grinding on me. And it's my job
Yeah.
to put my flesh under submission. And
You can't make
I
me
can't make nobody else do what's
or
right.
Katie.
And regardless of whether y'all choose to do what's right,
It's up to
I'm
you.
responsible to do what's right. It's not going to be an excuse when nobody else was doing right. That's
So
not.
I behave this way
Yeah.
because
And you know, sometimes we have to. It starts in ruling our mind, because if you keep gnawing on something, you're not going to act real becomingly. It's gonna fester out. It's gonna ooze out. It's gonna bitterness. It's gonna erupt. It's gonna be a million other things. And one thing that they were talking about on home group was the different things. You know, I think Joel mentioned that, you know, sometimes he just has to step out the room and you know, pick up a book, pick up a something, you know, take a walk, something to grab his mind and yank it around and say, no, you're not going to chew on that.
no. Yeah.
Rick gave an example of someone had brought over a Yahtzee game, and he was in a headspace, and the first thing he saw was that Yahtzee game. He said, come on, Denise, we're going to play Yahtzee. And while that doesn't overtly sound spiritual, what they were doing was a very spiritual practice, because they were refusing to let their mind and their emotions and different things like that fester into a place that was going to get them out in the unbecomingly realm, in the deformed, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to find something that's going to, you know, be a tool for you to rein your mind in. And whether that's reading, whether that's,
Well,
in whatever situation, whether it's you're overwhelmed, whether it's whatever it is. I mean,
What
that is as much a practice as anything else.
Maybe let me tell you what I do. When I am gonna, when I'm catching myself
Mm-hmm.
being what that verse is describing.
Oscar Mineo.
I see myself going there, I'll go to Messenger and play one of your
That'll put your brain
about-
in place, won't it?
well, I mean, how about
Laughter's a good medicine.
we practice
Yeah.
this when we're around others in the way we, if I know that chewing bubble gum real loud, smacking it, grinds on my wife's nerves, chomping ice, whatever it is, if I know that, if I'm aware of that, and I am going to take my care
Not to do that.
not to do that.
Yeah.
If I'm going to agape, if I know that could potentially, if I'm in
Yeah.
public and I like to chew gum, and I know that could aggravate somebody that's in the room with me, be very polite and
Yeah.
chew quietly. We do this when we sit down to eat with one another. We chew. We practice. Good manners. We sit there with our mouth
Yeah.
closed while we eat. We don't toss crab shells into baby carriages and things like that. and-
On purpose.
on purpose. Yeah.
They were such good sports. They laughed.
No, I'm just.
But
Well, no, I mean we do this because we know it's the it makes everything fun to go and eat with others when we behave this way.
But you know what? What is so, I guess, wild to me in all of this is you see there's very little separation of the supernatural and the physical.
Yeah.
Like, even, in doing those things, like, no, I'm going to rein in my mind. I'm going to do something that makes me put my mind
Yeah.
somewhere else, whether it's puzzling, whether it's building something, whether it's a coloring book. I don't care what it is. Just something that says, no, I'm not going to let my mind stay in that place. I refuse to let it do that. I was talking about Rick Renner did that with the Yahtzee game because his mind was in, and that was the first thing his eyes landed on. He said, "Come on, Denise, we playing Yahtzee." Why? Because it gets you from about to be in an Oscar Mineo deformed situation because your thoughts are deformed, your actions could be going to be deformed, your words could be going to be deformed.
Yeah.
Fill
I
in the
forgive
blank.
this
Do
person.
what
I
you
forgive
have to
this
do.
person. I forgive this person.
Yeah. And
I
if
forgive
it's
this
watching,
person.
if it's watching funny
Yeah.
videos, if it's,
I take those
yeah.
thoughts captive. I'm not going to go with those thoughts.
Yeah. But you do something that engages your mind and whatever, whenever COVID hit and my mind would be going to a place it didn't need to go to because I wasn't at the top of my health. I called Matt and yes, I was reading the word. Yes, I was listening to the word. Yes, I was praying. Yes, I was praising, but sometimes them thoughts can sound like a raging ocean. I'm just gonna be real. I don't know if any of y'all ever have to deal with that, but I did. And there was a lot of pressure in that. And I remember I said, "Matt, I'm gonna make hair bows." And he didn't say why. He just said, "Okay." And I ordered stuff, and I put my mind to what would make a pretty hair bow, and I would pray. And my mind wouldn't go with the overwhelming. It would be like, can I stick a Christmas wreath that's about that big in this resin hair bow? Can I put it? I told my mind where it would go. And I didn't keep chewing on the things that would have been destructive
We
to
take
me.
every thought
Every
captive.
thought captive.
We take every thought captive.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to get unbecoming, which I thought that was neat that was deformed.
Yeah.
Okay, it does not seek its own.
Okay.
Okay, zeteo is the word for seek. Zeteo.
Is that like,
Zeteo. Zeteo means to seek. It can be to worship or to desire or to require.
and what is this? Its own is Heoto.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we could say, in order to walk in agape, I do not necessarily require the other person to agape in return. My extension, my offering of agape is not contingent on receiving it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Doesn't that fly in the face of what the world tells you?
Total opposite.
It is.
Yeah. It absolutely is.
Exactly. Is not provoked.
It is not provoked.
Now,
Easily.
easily was added because King James was a hothead. The word easily was not originally there. It is the word
It just
provoked.
is not provoked.
And provoked is a big word there.
Real slowly.
Okay, you want to take it, Matt? Because you were excited about
Yeah.
this one.
It's PAROXYNO.
Paroxuno.
Wait a minute, spell it again.
PAROXYNO. And if you
M-O,
N
N, as in
N as in November.
November. There we go.
N-O, and that's all.
Yep.
Nice
That's
Nutella.
And that is for what?
This is
G
Hold
3947. Paraxuno.
paroxuno.
Paraxuno.
This is the word for provoke.
Mhm.
Paroxuno.
All right. To make sharp, sharpen, to stimulate, to spur on, urge, to irritate,
Exasperate.
provoke, arouse to anger, scorn, despise, provoke, make angry, to exasperate, to burn with anger.
That's the usage.
Wait a minute.
What?
I got provoke, and then help me,
Sharpen.
to sharpen, right?
Mm-hmm.
To make sharp.
Irritable.
To exasperate.
Yeah.
Miss Debbie, think of the rocks and all
Or to stir.
irritates the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what
Yeah,
is it?
there's another use of this word in the New Testament. Isn't there, dear?
Yes, there is, and I'm trying to
Find where it's at.
Acts. Yes.
I
I thought it was Acts 20.
Yeah, that ain't what you're getting at.
Yeah, it's
Did
Paul.
you hear peroxide?
Yeah.
Well, y'all remember what happened with Paul and Barnabas over one
Mhm.
mark? Yeah, that was this. Things got so out of hand,
So heated between him
so
and
heated
Barnabas.
between Paul and Barnabas
They separated.
that they separated and did not work together again. Period.
And listen,
Whoo!
that was not good.
No,
No.
it was
It
not.
was not good.
Agape don't do that. And so here we have Paul saying, you know what?
That's not
I
what
missed
agape
it.
does.
We may have missed something here. We don't do that. We don't let that get us to that point that
And I find that interesting that we have two. Now Barnabas is still a disciple. He's still going out
Yeah.
and with John Mark, and he's still there. He's not done
Yeah.
with the word. But they had
They separate.
They
had
separated.
Separation.
It caused separation.
It caused
between those
separation.
two.
And you know, who's to say which way that one went with, you know, the spur and then the whatnot? It could have been on both ends. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it caused a separation
Mm-hmm.
that wouldn't necessarily have occurred.
Well, you know,
And it does.
people, you know, get this mind about them that, you know, these things don't happen because we're saved. Obviously, they do. This is, again, going back to things that we have to, in ourselves, we have to crucify this flesh. We have to put these things under. You know, there are going to be things that,
Well, we all have that choice, that
Yeah.
free will.
there's going to be things that aggravate you about
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And vice
Because,
versa.
because
That's
I may
just
be,
gonna happen.
I may be very much like you. I may be so different from you that, you know, there may be things that I do that just aggravate you. I mean, you know, and that could literally go either way. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, me and Katie sometimes butt heads because I see her doing things that are just like me, and
No.
yeah. And then me and Mindy butt heads because we're thinking totally different from each other. We're total opposites from each other. But there's no room for this letting things provoke us to anger. You know, and I would even go back to what you were saying before of finding ways to capture these thoughts, finding ways to capture these emotions before they escalate into areas that will carry us to a place where we say something that, when you're provoked to anger, you know, where does it come out at? Well, it comes out the weakest point.
Yes.
You know, next thing we know, we've said something that's hurtful.
Yeah.
Or we've opened
And a
our...
lot of times you do it to the people you love the most.
Yeah.
That
Right.
you're the closest
Mhm.
to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this goes for both parts. You know, regardless of what somebody else does, it's on me.
Yeah.
It's on my side to choose how I respond. You know, am I gonna be provoked to anger? Am I gonna allow this to provoke me to anger? A lot of times, young people think growing up that anger is a part of being an adult, and it doesn't make you a very good adult at all. The Bible says that if you're easily angered, you're not wise.
It's not to be friends with somebody like that
it's-
because you'll
yeah.
learn his ways.
It says not to be friends with somebody that's easily angered. That's right. It says it does not work righteousness.
No, it doesn't.
A lot of times it's an evil spirit.
Yeah.
It is a demonic spirit.
I believe there's a devil that goes around just telling people what you gonna do about it.
Yeah.
What you gonna do
I
about
tell
it?
you what, I would.
Well, what you gonna do
Yeah.
about it, huh? I tell you what I do. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? You gonna let
You
them
gonna
talk
let
to
them
you?
do that to
You
you?
gonna let them do that to
No, a
you?
lot of it is, you know, just what the Bible said. Make not friends with an angry man lest you learn his ways.
Mhm.
But a lot of times, children growing up in a home that they're constantly fighting, it is a learned
It's a learned behavior.
Mhm.
And if it's not corrected,
Mhm.
it can turn into the demonic
Yes, it can.
Oh, yeah.
indwelling.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it can.
What? And I think that one area that provokes anger is the pride area.
Oh yeah.
I think the pride gets in there, and it pushes people to that place.
Yeah.
Well, how dare they do that to me?
Well, yeah.
You know,
That goes right into the next one about takes no account of a suffered wrong.
yeah. And that's literally like, you know, writing it down, keeping a log of it. You know,
Yeah.
I know all the men, you know, comedians, they joke about, you know, when they argue with their wife, you know, the wife will bring up things from
1949.
1948, but let's get real. You know, us men do that too. It's not a sex thing. It's a human thing. We
Exactly.
have to. There comes a part where we have to forget. I'm not saying I'm not saying totally forget to the point where we just let people keep on coming up and punching us in the face.
No, because I mean, even like the example that Renner gave of the man on the airplane that was
Right.
vaunting himself,
Yeah.
and I'm coming to Moscow. Nope,
No, you're not.
no, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think he based that off of? He based that off of the past hour flight, you know, and seeing the character of this person. They didn't have no business standing in a pulpit.
And also in
Okay.
the regard of him being a shepherd,
Protecting
protecting his flock.
his flock. I think what the heart of this is getting at is it's not a yeah, I see what you did there. I'm gonna that attitude, that pride that goes with it, because you don't need to have your head in the sand if somebody keeps bopping you in the head saying I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There is nothing wrong in you removing yourself from the person's reach. And what is it based off? Based off of, well, the pattern is you'll say you're sorry, but you don't really mean it. And it's not anything done with contempt. It's not done with malice. It's you know, it has to be a right heart condition when you do it.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm trying to get at. We can't.
You know, I believe it was Keith Moore in one of his series, and it played on the Victory Channel. You know, at one of his Sunday sermons or whatever. That he was talking about. He was talking on that line, what you're saying. He said, we can pray, and we can do, I can only do for Debbie.
Yeah.
I can love Matt. Look here, I can love Matt. But I cannot make Matt return that love
No.
to me.
Absolutely not.
And that's what Keith was saying. He was saying that
And
there's just going to be some people
Yeah.
that they don't like you. They are out to harm you. Now we still love them.
Yes.
But you better be smart enough to recognize.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
I
know
think
what
it
I'm
destroys
saying?
a lot of Christian people because we have a call to share the gospel. You know, and we think that, you know, there's this fleshly thinking, this idea that we just go through and we, you know, that because it's our job, and it is our job to share the gospel with every living creature. You know, that, you know, we go, you know, because Jesus, they talk about him, you know, sitting with sinners, and that we go to the people that have chosen against him. And we forget the part where Jesus told the disciples that he sent out. He said, look, if they don't receive it, you know, wipe the dust
And
from
take
your
your peace
hands
with
and your
you.
feet.
Take
It
your
says
peace
take
with
your
you.
peace with you. Don't
Yeah.
leave it there.
Go find another house that's worthy.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of this going out and sharing. It's not just going out and just, you know, letting people.
But see, Matt, the world,
Yes.
God loves each one of us, and he loves us unconditionally.
Yeah.
That's right.
Look here, he died for all of us while we were what?
Mm-hmm.
Dead in our sin.
You know.
You know, when we were,
That being said, now you have, I think of Max's wife,
Queen.
Quinn.
Yeah.
You know, Max was not a Christian, not a nice man at all.
Nope.
And she had to agape that man.
Yeah.
In order.
but, see, listen to me, but she had been on her face, and she had heard from the Lord.
In
and
that
the
situation.
Lord told her.
Yeah.
Look
But
at
how many people?
what about Phil and Kay Robertson?
Yeah.
You know, Kay left.
Mm-hmm.
She found, she found the Lord. She left, and Phil didn't want nothing to do with it, right? Till he finally come around, and to Jesus, and he got it right with the Lord, and then.
But see, what the world would have you is that no matter what,
Mm-mm.
you're to take the abuse.
No.
You're to no, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
that is what the world portrays. Just like, look here, go back to the envy, to the covet. What are we seeing right now on the news that the people in New York City are wanting to do?
They want what other people have.
They're wanting
Other people's stuff.
a person
Mm-hmm.
in power to give them free everything, to take from the rich
And give it to them.
and to give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that they have not worked for, they have not earned it.
Yeah.
Now, am I saying that we work and we earn God's love? No,
No, we
that's not
don't.
what I'm saying.
We do not.
But what I'm saying is you see the same thing
Yes.
today. Yes, Jesus loves us and we are
Yes.
to love everybody. But it says for us to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. We are to pray. And he's given us the weapons to pull down the strongholds.
Absolutely.
But here is the thing, y'all.
Yeah.
We have to trust him.
Yeah.
We have to love, but we have to be led by the Spirit.
That's
Because
it.
listen to me, how many times did the Holy Spirit redirect Paul? Paul would want to go to one place and the Holy Spirit would stop him because he'd say, they'll kill you there.
Yeah.
You know, would forbid him to
To
go.
go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Restrain him. See, we have got to be Spirit led. There is a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly
we
what you're saying.
Don't stop loving.
No.
That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But we cannot. You can't pretend the snake ain't.
No.
No, I mean, just in anything that you do, spirit led. Like you said it right there, be spirit led. You know, I would never recommend any of y'all drive to downtown Jackson, Mississippi. It is not a safe place. It is not. There, people get shot there all the time. But when the Lord leads you and you hear from Him, hey, go here, do this.
You do it.
You do it, and you rely on the Lord. You know, that's, let me tell you something. That's how this whole thing works. But you don't just go off in your own. We get emotional about things that of God, about the Spirit, and we walk off in emotion about it. And this is not this what we're discussing, what love is not an emotional experience at all. This is very much a Spirit-led experience.
Yeah. Conscious living.
This is a conscious. This is a choice.
Yeah.
Lived
On purpose.
on purpose.
It doesn't accidentally happen.
Experience. It takes focus to do this. It doesn't happen by accident. You have to really, really put forth effort.
Yeah.
on this, because yes, His love is shed abroad in our hearts.
Yeah.
But if we just go through life and you know,
And you know-
without any thought or focus on it, we'll walk off in our emotions and we'll do something.
Yeah.
In one of these categories that is selfish. Why? Because the emotions are focused
Inward,
inward.
and not outward.
They're not focused outward.
And you know, here's the thing too, with the love.
Yeah.
And with the seed. You know, you were talking about Mindy, the sower sows the word.
Yeah.
But you know, we may sow a seed here.
Yeah.
And the person goes somewhere else and it be watered.
That's right.
And God gives the increase. See, man can't take the glory for
No.
anything.
No.
No.
You know,
We're getting at the end, but I wanted to read a little paragraph in here. It says, selfishness is the blighting curse of the human. Love stops the rust of selfishness, preserves the home and church life from decay. The lover is like rust-free steel. We know that the largest part of steel is destroyed by rust. We know that the largest portion of home life in America is destroyed by selfishness.
ain't that the truth?
Yep.
Boy,
You can't be selfish and be in agape. Well, that is all the time we have for tonight. I hope we're not boring people too much. I hope we're getting something that can transform our lives. I know it's, some days I need a special cushion to sit on after this. I see where I've missed it and where I need to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And by His grace, I will. I'll keep plugging at it.
Yeah. If you go through that book, go through Rick Renner's book, and he'll go through this. If there's
The
any,
love test.
yeah, the love test.
Yeah.
If at the end of every verse, if there's an area where you
Yeah.
feel like you've missed it, and he says, go to God with it, bring it before the Lord, and get it under the blood.
That's right.
So.
All right, guys.
so you got the book now?
On
On
Audible.
Audible, which means you could listen to it on your tablet if you so
Anytime you wanted
choose.
to.
All right, guys. We love you. God loves you. Is there anything you can do about it? And we're going to hear from the Lord Wednesday.